Hey everybody, it's NC Bohunk42 and welcome back to the channel. I have for you today the Avengers Endgame, the Infinity Saga box set, which features the Ironman Mark 85 and the Thanos, the armored Thanos figure from Endgame. So the box set comes with a ton of accessories. We get multiple heads for each one of the figures. You get the actual sword that Thanos had in the movie that is more accurate than the Build-A-Figure version that we got. Also, you get sets of hands for Iron Man, as well as two weapons that we haven't seen before. We have seen the shield on the Infinity War version, but it was actually painted the same color as the armor. So this is actually cool because it's like the energy projection shield. But we get the classic, standard, I should say, Infinity Saga packaging with the Art Deco on each side. That has never changed. You get the original Endgame movie poster and then a small write-up for each one of the characters. All right, guys, so I got the figures out of the package and had a chance to kind of go through everything and take a look at it, compare it to some of the other releases that we've had, and just give you my best thoughts about it. There's a lot to go over here because this is a set that is just packed full of accessories. And so to go over the meat and potatoes of it, we'll just kind of forego the articulation. I mean, anybody watching this video is probably a collector for the most part, and so you know what you're getting with the Marvel Legend figure articulation. And then for anybody who's new, just check out my other videos. I go over the articulation pretty regularly, but for this one, I'm really just this is more of a discussion and my overall thoughts of the figure set, because these are really just repaints and with just re-released head sculpts. So the first thing is the Iron Man. When I saw this in the package, I was blown away with the photoreal tech. I just thought it was, I mean, this is the Robert Downey Jr. head to have. What they've done, and you can see this from like when you actually look at the package, it's got like a detachable neck, which is very odd for Hasbro to go that route, because that's almost like something you'd see on an import. But with that being said, don't let it deter you, because it's actually pretty cool the way that these can come out. So, and I guess they did that because of the Mark 85 kind of had more of a collar, being it was made of that nanotech material in the movie. And so I guess that is the reason they did that. But yeah, I mean, everything kind of ports in and out pretty seamlessly. And so, if you if you want to, see, now you got to get his, that's the front of his neck there. So if you want to pose him, you got different options, as to which version of him in the movie that you want to pose him as, which is cool, because the more options, the better, especially for this price, the price range they're going for. I believe this one was, was it $60 maybe? Sounds about right. $59.99 for this set. So it's pretty pricey, but with the amount of accessories you get, it's totally justifiable. So you get the hands, and there's nothing new on the hands. Okay. We've seen these before as well, off of the original re-release. You get the blast effects, and you have the options to put it in the repulsor glove or in the peg. So you have that option as well. And we have seen these too. Just a translucent blue. So it's clear, you can see through that, which I actually prefer this over the other one that was, it almost was like a lighter blue with like a whitewash on it. I kind of just like the clear one better. And then we have the energy shield, and we have seen this before. This was the same as the original release, as you can see. So all they did, this was painted for the Infinity War figure. And then all they did is make it, that translucent blue, which is cool. And then you have that energy blade that we saw. I don't remember if this was in Endgame. I thought this was from Infinity War, but I could be wrong. But either way, it's a cool piece that we haven't had, and I really do like that. I just wish that the red is a little off, because it's supposed to match his armor, obviously, because like all of the way that nanotech works, everything's like an extension of it. So like you can kind of see that it's, well, the camera may not pick it up, but it's a little off. But on this character in particular, some of the reds don't look like they match up. Like the red on the gloves isn't exactly the same as it is on the armor. Like it's a shade off. So it almost is like they reused some parts from the original Endgame release. So, you know, that's unfortunate, but it's pretty cool. And then you, of course, you get the snap hand. So that's a big one with the Infinity Stones in it. So moving along to Thanos now. This is a re-release, or a repaint, I should say, of the armored Build-A-Figure that we had. So there's not a lot of difference here in this figure. You get the Gauntlet Hand on this one. The other one obviously did not come with it. So missing the stones. And then the hand is interchangeable. You can pull this hand out and actually put the Gauntlet Hand with the stones in it. And so that ports in pretty easy. And you have that choice of how you want to display them. And then we get the 3 additional heads, which we've seen before. This was off of the Build-A-Figure, which I have here. There's obviously no difference in it. And then we have seen this head before. This is actually a repaint of the original Thanos Grimace figure. Remember how terrible purple that was? They like totally got him wrong on that Build-A-Figure. It was awful. And then they repainted it another time for the Doctor Strange Ironman 3-pack, which was this one, I believe. And then they gave it to us again there. And then we have a very stoic look on Thanos here. And this one, I believe, was maybe on the snap hand. You know, where he's got the damaged arm. And then we get the double-bladed sword. That's pretty accurate to how it was in the movie. With the armored Build-A-Figure wave, I mean, this was just way off. You can tell, like, this must have been the concept art that the designers got. And it obviously changed, because this is how it looked in the movie. This is what we got. And it was just really bad. So, yeah, you know, I'm like everybody else. I'm not a huge fan of having to rebuy packs of figures or characters, especially, you know, after we've invested so much money into getting a whole line to make a Build-A-Figure. Like, it gets expensive, but you know, it doesn't bother me as much when you do get a new one and it's just loaded with accessories like this 2-pack. Comparing them, you can see that there's not a whole lot of difference. The biggest difference being this one has the gauntlet and some shoulder armor, and this one does not. But other than that, the paint is the same. This one, I don't know if this is dirt or if this is supposed to be like the dusting effect, you know, to match the head. But either way, I mean, it's pretty cool. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of difference. This has more of a gray, whereas this is kind of like a black with a gold wash over it. And you can kind of see that reflective sheen. So, I don't know. I think I like them both the same. I thought this was a pretty cool figure whenever we got it. It just wasn't accurate, obviously. And then one thing I did notice is that we actually do not have a Thanos figure from Endgame that appears like he did in Endgame, where he is not wearing a gauntlet of any type. Because obviously in the movie, when, you know, he shows up in the movie finally at the end, his arm should look like this, and it should look like this on one central figure, and we don't have that. So I don't know, maybe some customizers might be able to pry that out and maybe just switch the arms or something, but that's just, you know, some food for thought. So standing next to each other, you can see they scale pretty well. The Thanos figure is coming in right about 8 1/4 inches, and the Iron Man figure looks like right about 6 3/4. So a good bit of difference between the two. I think it's pretty accurate to how they would scale and how they kind of looked in the movie. And then here is the 2-pack Ironman Mark 85 against the single release Mark 85. And you can see that the reds are different. This one being darker than the 2-pack. And I don't know which one I like better. I mean, they are literally the same figure. The big difference, this has like a blue, kind of like a blue hue around the arc reactor, and this one doesn't have anything. So it's just like little tiny nuances like that. He's got some red on his shoulders, and you know, this one doesn't. But yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of like the darker red myself than the light red here. But they're essentially the same figure. You know, the biggest difference being these neck joints. But another thing that I found, which I'm sure everybody was curious about with these neck joints. So this is something that is pretty cool. If you look on inside there, it's just a standard ball peg. The only thing the difference is this neck piece, but it does pop out pretty easy. And so even if you wanted to, and you wanted to try to use this head, this Robert Downey head, you could even use it on, say, the Infinity War figure here, which, let me pop that off there. Okay, so we removed this head here, and it actually goes on there pretty easy, and you can make you a Infinity War one. If you, I mean, I don't think that looks bad at all. So it's and as you can see, like, so it comes up to his neck. It sits on there pretty well, and you get the full articulation there. So I think that you could experiment with these heads a little bit, and you know, and use it on some of the other figures that we've gotten that didn't have the RDJ head. So that's something that I thought was pretty cool. All right, guys, so my final thoughts on this: I think this is a must-have. This by far is the definitive versions of both the figures and the characters. Just for the RDJ heads alone, I think it's worth it. And then you get if you missed out on some of the other Thanos figures, you get all of the head sculpts. Well, most of all the head sculpts that came out, enough to where I think it would satisfy any collector or any fan. But yeah, you know, it's a $59.99, available now. I think I got this one from Target, I believe, or yeah, Target, and they're available now. I've seen them on Walmart and Amazon, and I think that it's definitely worth it. You know, you get a lot for your money, you know, with this 2-pack. And I don't think that anybody regret it. I think that it's definitely worth it. And I can't say enough good things about this one. All right, guys, that's the review. Sorry it's a lengthy one. There was a lot to unbox in this one. But please stick around for future content. If you haven't already, I invite you to like and subscribe. And even drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. We'll catch you on the next one.